All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division where Gervonta Tank Davis is rumored to be having difficulties. But at the same time, he shows Frank Martin something and asks Frank Martin a question that may point to Frank Martin having problems. The same problem that people are accusing Gervonta Davis of. So let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division where people are saying Gervonta Davis is having difficulty making weight, barely making weight, may lose his weight on this, may lose the fight on the scale. And the reason that they say that is because they saw him running. Yeah, that's right. They saw him running. He didn't go to the grand arrivals yesterday, and they saw him running. As a result, people are saying that he's going to miss weight and is out of shape and is unprofessional. Now, before I get into that and the fact that Gervonta did something in that interview yesterday when he was talking to Frank Martin that I thought really showed the opposite. And then maybe Frank's got that particular problem. Now, before I get into it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It really does mean a lot to the channel. Thank you to Barbara D, Matty O, Daryl McKinney. I hope you're doing well, Daryl McKinney, and everybody else that supports. And I can't wait to see you in the live stream again, Daryl, once you get through the situation that you're going through. But let's get into this. Gervonta Davis was drinking water throughout the entire press conference, just sipping water. Big bottle of water right there, sipping water, while he was answering questions, clowning, trying to intimidate Frank Martin, trying to get in Frank Martin's head, trying to get into the head of the entire camp, Frank Martin's entire camp, Derek James, Errol Spence, and everybody. And that is why I say that more than likely people are just once again looking for something. Really hoping that Gervonta Davis loses his fight. And I think most of these people really are in Devin Haney's camp. And I know they hoping that I know they out here hoping that Gervonta Davis loses. But here's the thing. If you're sipping water, that means you're hydrating. His weigh-in is tomorrow. If he can drink water, and I saw him sipping a good amount of water, that means that he is close to weight. I think that he is going to make weight. He's been a long time since he hasn't made weight. I don't think the fact that he was jogging out in Las Vegas during the time of the arrivals really meant that he didn't do the grand arrivals because he's just so worried he won't make weight. No, he tweeted out that he wasn't going before people saw him run. Like, hey, watch me not show up, and was out on a run. Now, some people on Twitter said, well, why are you running? He must be having a hard time if you're running just that many days before the fight. Well, people are still cutting weight, and boxers don't stop, to my knowledge, they don't stop jogging before the fight. They stop sparring, and they may stop doing like heavy workouts, but they still are going to get on the road. They're still going to run. They're still going to loosen up their body so they don't lose any of the conditioning that they've had, that they've been putting in for the last 8-12 weeks, the day or 2 days before the fight. Now, the fact that Frank Martin was not drinking, and Gervonta was literally looking at him and offering him some water. Like, hey, man, you want some water? You need some water? You thirsty? Looks like you're kind of thirsty. Looks like you kind of drawn, having a hard time making weight. You need some water, right? So he was out there clowning Frank Martin about the fact that Frank Martin wasn't drinking any water and didn't put any water near him during that press conference. But at the end of the day, I think both these guys are professionals. They're both going to make weight. I am really, and I don't have an issue with people rooting for fighters or rooting against fighters. I mean, it is what it is. If Shakur Stevenson's your guy and you don't like Gervonta Davis, you want Gervonta Davis to lose, that's okay. I can understand. That's not a big deal. It's not a big deal to me. I just find it funny because Gervonta Davis has been accused heading into this fight of everything under the sun. He's accused of refusing to do testing. You just today had Victor Conti out there. Does anybody know if there's random testing for this fight with Gervonta Davis and Frank Martin, and also David Benavidez and Hergovich? Has anybody heard anything about this? No, Victor. I have not heard about it, and I'm not going to care to hear about it unless somebody pops dirty. That's when most boxing fans' interests are piqued about whether or not somebody's testing is when they pop dirty. Oh, they pop dirty. What are we going to do? Kind of like with Ryan Garcia. But far be it for me not to make this not to take an opportunity to say, hey, man, with Victor Conti behaving the way that Victor Conti believes, people may start caring less about drug testing because the dude is acting so suspect when it comes to Frank Martin that you have to wonder what's going on with VADA. And VADA was the organization that had the reputation as being the one that was the premier standard. But now it seems after this Frank Martin stuff that they're nothing but a middleman in between the WBC or the WBA and WADA, and that is an organization to which Victor Conti can readily get any information about fighters anytime he wants it, seemingly so. So, yeah, man, you probably start hearing a lot less about testing, especially as it relates to VADA, with Victor Conti involved, based off the way that he's been acting with Ryan Garcia. But anyway, man, he threw that accusation out there. So, which one is it? Is he testing? I mean, I guess they can both be true at the same time. That he's not only doping and avoiding and ducking tests, he's also lazy and undisciplined and is going to miss weight and lose his belt on the scale. I don't know, man. It is what it is, though. For me, I can't wait to see this fight. I got Gervonta Davis winning the fight, but Frank Martin should be able to put up a good fight. There's some things that I think Frank Martin has that are real advantages for him in this fight and put him in a little bit of a different situation than other people. And I think that's the people in his camp. The fact that Errol Spence has been his promoter. Errol's been in a lot of these fights, fights of this magnitude and big name fights. You also have Derek James, who's trained other fighters for big fights and knows what it is and knows how to, knows what it's like, to be under the bright lights. And maybe some of that can transition over to Frank Martin. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.